Okay, so what's the vertex again? 3, 5. So that's 3, 5. And then we said that the x value of the vertex is the axis of symmetry. So the way I'm going to write this is the axis of symmetry is axis of symmetry x equals 3. Notation is important. Okay, so what's the equation of the axis of symmetry of the following equation? So y equals negative x squared. First, state the vertex. What's your vertex?
0, 0.
And then that means your axis of symmetry is?
0.
How would I write it?
X.
Equals 0. You will lose marks if you don't write that x. We're good? All right. Questions? Cool. Did I miss a page or no? No. Okay. Just gonna look at something here. Why is this a blank page? Okay. Now, to graph this, we are going to complete a table of value, okay? Always the way out, like to graph, if you don't know how to graph anything, you always do a table of value. That's the basic of graphing. Do a table of value where you plug in x, you pick your x values, you put them in the equation, solve for y, okay? Now, the question is, what x values do I pick? Okay, it's always the question. Now, I always tell my students, when it's quadratic, look at your axis of symmetry and take points that are around your axis of symmetry, above and below your axis of symmetry. Okay? So your axis of symmetry here is what? Sorry, what's your vertex? What's your vertex for this one?
1, 2.
1 and 2, right? What's your axis of symmetry?
1.
X equals 1.
Oh, yeah,
Right? X equals 1. So basically what I want, I wouldn't pick these points per se if it was me. I want points that are around the axis of symmetry. So around 1, so 0, negative 1, 2, and 3. I wouldn't pick these two. Okay? I would pick points that are around the 1, so 0 and negative 1, and then 2 and 3. 5 points is always enough to graph if you know exactly what point you're picking, because we know that we're going to pick the vertex and then 4 other points, okay? 5 points in total is enough to graph quadratics, okay? So in this case, they gave you negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. Sure, we're going to do them, okay? But technically, if I'm going to make my own table of value, I will start at the axis of symmetry, put it in the middle. Okay, so I'll do this. In the middle, I'm going to have 1 for the x value, and then I'll go, okay, 1, then it's going to be 2, 3, and then it's going to be 0 and negative 1. These are the points that I would pick, okay, because I know this is where my vertex is going to be. And then I want my other points to be around my vertex from both sides so I can see the symmetry. Okay? So I know that this value is going to be what? What's my vertex? 1, 2. So I know that this is going to be 2. Okay? Now, what would be the other values? How can I do this? So when you're evaluating, you have to follow BEDMAS. So you have to do inside your bracket first, then your exponent, then add any multiplication or division, and then subtraction, addition. Okay? So you have to follow through. So here's what we're going to do. You're going to put negative 3 in for x. So you're going to have y equals negative 3 minus 1 squared plus 2. You see what happened? I replaced the x value with negative 3. What's negative 3 minus 1? Negative 4. So because it says do the bracket first, right? So I did the bracket, negative 4. And then after the bracket, it comes the exponent, right? Negative 4 squared. What's negative 4 squared? What's negative 4 squared? 16. So it's going to be 16 plus 2. Now all what I have to do is the addition, which gives me 18. Okay? Now I'm showing you step by step. Do I need to write this one every single time? No, I don't. Okay? But this is step by step. Let's go to the next one. So y equals negative 2 minus 1 squared plus 2. Brackets first. So negative 2 minus 1, which is negative 3 squared plus 2. What's negative 3 squared? Plus 2. What's 9 plus 2? 11. You guys okay with that? Okay? Can you do the rest? All right, so I need you guys to do the rest.